This is an additional little video that I did to explain multi-state objects. Some people were asking about that. What I've already done is two buttons. If I press the red button, it will trigger a red animation. And if I press the yellow button, it will trigger a yellow animation. And if I stop this one and play again, we can see nothing is happening initially except that I have a rollover on the red button. I don't know why it's not working here on the yellow button, but I'm not going to troubleshoot that at the moment. So I'm going to delete this object at the moment. So I'll just turn this off. This is a multi-state object, so I'm going to take the multi-state object from the object states. I will go in here and release all states to objects. And it's going to just put them back again into the groups that they were initially. And I'm going to take these groups here and I'm going to ungroup them. So object ungroup and object ungroup. And if I take these two and I will take them so that they're no longer buttons, just turn them into plain objects there and there. And losing the functionality, let me lock that object there, and I can select all those objects there, and I will go in the animation, here, none. So here we have a structure. It has 4 yellow objects and 4 red objects, and before I group them, these are just simple objects, and you can see they're named Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, and if we look at the red objects, it's the same thing, R1, R2, R3, R4. If I select multiple objects, I can add the same animation to them all, and I just use the simple fade in, like so, and the yellow ones will fade in like so. And from the timing panel I can see if the red ones will fade in and then the yellow ones will fade in, and we can look at that now. So there, red objects, yellow objects. Okay? Now I don't want them to fade in together. I want them to be 2 different states, but before I make them into states, I'll take all the yellow boxes and change them into a group, because I want them to behave as a group. They belong together, yeah? The red ones, they also belong together, and I will group them. That's the red group, okay? I will name that one red group, or red animation. And I take the yellow group, and we'll see that's selected there. And that's showing me it's selected yellow. So with these 2 groups selected, I want to make them into 2 states. That means that it would either be like the yellow page with the yellow animation or the red page with the red animation. So I go into object states and I select the new multi-state object, and I see here we have the red animation and the yellow animation as 2 different objects. If I look at my timing panel now, it's empty, because there is no animation on the page. The animation has now moved to object state level. If I double click now on to go into the state, you can see, oh, on state load it says that it will do the R1, R2. The timing panel can show what state it is going on, or it can show what is happening when the page is loading. And the same thing happens if I choose the yellow one and I look at the timing panel, it says, oh, on the state load, and then of course it means of the yellow animation, then it will play these ones in the specified order. Let's play that one just to be sure what's happening. Nothing's happening, right? Because there is no state changing, there is no loading state, and so nothing's happening. So we must have an event to trigger that animation. I will choose the yellow square and turn it into a button, and I'll choose it, turn it into a button just by choosing an action, go to state, and it says my multi-state action wants to go to the yellow animation. If I press the red button, I wanted to change the state, go to state, and I wanted to go to multi-state object to go to the red animation. And when we play that now, you can see there's still the 2 buttons, nothing's happening, but when I press the yellow button, the yellow animation triggers. And when I press the red button, the red animation triggers. And I hope that is going to help some of you that are wrestling with this kind of thing. You want to have a button that triggers some kind of a sequence, and you want to have another button that triggers another kind of sequence. The key is first make the sequence work independently, then you group it, and then you put it into a multi-state object, and then you can have the buttons to trigger the multi-state objects.